Come on, Bubba. Come on. You know, you see somebody walking. Come on. Come on. Good morning. Happy St. Paddy's Day. If you can't already tell by my name, I'm quite a bit Irish. I love that there's a St. Paddy's Day. And everybody's Irish today. Everybody. Come on, baby boy. Let's go. Everybody's Irish today. How's everybody doing? I'm always up early, brother. This is nothing. I've been up for like 2.5 hours. I'm up every day around 4:30, man. Between 4 and 4:30. Every day. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Got to get up. Got to walk the dogs. Take care of the dog. Got to do some work. Yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. He gets so excited whenever he sees anybody. He wants to say hi to everyone. Lady walking on the other side of the road. Yes, that's right. Except our last name, before it was changed to what it is now, it's a Connolly. It was O'Connolly. And it was spelled C-O-N, well, O apostrophe C-O-N-A-L-A-I-G-H, I believe, is how it was spelled originally. And then obviously it becomes Americanized and all that stuff. And just like my great-grandparents' last name, they were Portuguese. Their last name was Diaz. But over time, when you come to America and you want to be like the rest of, the Americans, you don't want to be ostracized for being different and ethnic, it became Days. And that's just the way it goes. You got to fit in with what Whitey says. Fit in with what Whitey says. Almost 4:20 there. Right on, bro. Get it. Same here, Mikey. I only sleep in 2-hour increments too, man. And I do that like twice throughout the night. So 4 hours is about average for me every night. It's about average. It's about average. Whitey Bulger was something. My great grandfather worked for him, and that Winter Hill crew. He was a bookie. He did some loan sharking, money collecting. He wasn't a hitter or anything like that. But back then, Southeast still is predominantly Irish, although it's trying to do what they did to Brooklyn, put up fancy apartments and stupid little coffee shops and change it. But regardless, back in the day, Irish Southie was 99.9% Irish, and it was where all the Irish immigrants settled in that area. And Southie's not a big area; it's very small. Everybody knows everybody, and there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for people. Obviously, there was a time when the Irish were treated just awful. They were basically kept in cages. They would put like fences up around blocks where the Irish could live, and that was it. They were treated terribly. They were abused. They weren't paid. It was bad. So people started doing what they needed to do. Same with the Italians. Same with the Jews. Same with many people who were not treated properly. They started doing things that they felt they needed to do to survive in America. And that was forming these gangs, I guess, so that they had power in numbers, so that they had ways to make money. And initially, it really was meant to protect their people. Obviously, it changed into extortion and all that stuff. But back then in Southie, it was a lot of people you either were part of one of those groups or you were um, taken advantage of by them. So people did what they needed to do, sadly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Wait. Thank you, Jeannie. You too. Whitey was a terrible guy. You talk about a guy who was just a monster. He was a monster. There was no good in that man at all. He murdered. The numbers they have are slim compared to what the realistic numbers are. They have somewhere in the 20s or 30s. It's higher than that. It's much higher than that. He was sadistic. He was sick. He was evil. That's a guy who, when we had that conversation the other day about the Italian mafia and some of the Jewish organized crime and all that stuff about, are these people good and are they inherently good people and just kind of get sucked into doing bad things because of their environment, or are they bad people? Well, Whitey was just a bad person. He was a monster. People in that area treated Whitey like he was, a lot of them treated Whitey like he was a god to his face, only because they were terrified of him. That's not respect. People get fear and respect confused. He was feared. He wasn't respected. And so you'd see people treat him like he was something special. It was because they were afraid they were going to get killed. They're going to get extorted. They're going to get tortured in the basement. He's a terrible dude. Terrible dude. Pat Nee was the head of the other group of Irish organized crime in that area. And Pat was a regular guy. Pat was came from Irish immigrant family. He was a regular dude. He didn't go around killing people, murdering people, um, especially citizens. Obviously, there came times when Whitey and his crew pressed and did things to Pat's people, and Pat retaliated because otherwise he didn't. He knew he would get the same treatment as so many others did. Pat was respected. Whitey was feared. Just not a good dude at all. Not a good dude at all. He did nothing. He did nothing good for that neighborhood. He just took. He took from it. He didn't give anything back. He didn't give anything back. Wait, Bubba. Wait. I'm just throwing your stinky poop away. Wait, Bob. Wait. Go ahead. Be on the bench. Be on the bench. God damn it. This is so hard. Okay. We're done with the poop. Um, wait. Oh yeah, Danny Green was another guy. Yeah, he can be pretty violent, but Danny's story is a lot different than Whitey's. Danny was a guy who fought for fair wages for people, unionized work, stuff like that. But he could be pretty violent in his own right. Nothing like Whitey though. He was different. But anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I've thought about my retirement from YouTube some more, and I'm holding out for a better contract from YouTube. If they can't provide, then I'm going to take my talents to TikTok. Maybe even Instagram. I'm not sure. But if YouTube can't compensate me fairly and give me what I need, then I'm going to switch teams. I'm going to go play for TikTok. I'm just kidding. So that museum yesterday, wow, what a cool place, man. What a very cool place. They were so nice, so knowledgeable, so friendly, and so proud and eager to talk about their background, which was so cool. I love seeing that. I love seeing people who are proud of where they're from. And when you give them an opportunity to talk about it, you can hear it in their voice. The girl even said, what an awesome place to work. I love it here. Where else can you go? Be around these cool artifacts. Be around your people, meaning other Mohegan tribal members, because it's owned and operated by only tribal members. And talk about your background. I agree. What a cool place to work. What a cool place to work. Very tiny. It's in a little old stone house. Been there for a long time. But they got some cool stuff in there, really cool stuff. I was blown away by some of the ingenuity. When you see it up close, it's different than seeing it in pictures. And you see the pottery, and the guy's talking about how the pottery kept breaking from the heat, and they tried to figure out a way to make it stronger, and they crushed up those shells and mixed it with that. It kept it from breaking. Just amazing to think, like, who would come up with that? Who would know? Oh yeah, OnlyFans. That's right. You're right, Brandon. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys about that. OnlyFans. That's where I'm going to. OnlyFans. Not for everybody, but there's a market out there for. I hear that there's a big market out there for people who like to. They call it bear watching. Large, hairy men. So consider me a grizzly, bitch. So that's it. We're going to OnlyFans. I heard somebody say the other day, someone on OnlyFans was making like 150 to 400,000 a month on OnlyFans. Ridiculous. How's that even fair? So, any of you nature lovers want to get a shot of a bear up close? Come to my OnlyFans page. Oh God, I would never do that to the world. I would never do that to the world. Yeah, it was great, man. It was great. She had such a good time. She really enjoyed it. She's been wanting to go for a long time. I wanted to go for a long time. Just getting our schedules to align, where she didn't have the baby or the kids, and I could take a little bit of time away from work to go. So yeah, it was great. It was such a cool place. I wish more of you guys lived in the area, because I would definitely recommend a trip. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Totally free. Cocaine bear. No, minus the cocaine. I don't do cocaine. Don't put that out there. I quit all the hard stuff a long time ago. You don't need that in your life. I promise you that. You do not need that. Gosh, if I could tell you some stories. Whew, boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Nope. Worked hard to change my life and be a better person. I think I did pretty okay. I want to see that movie, though. I keep hearing great things about it. Oh, yeah. Crazy. Based on a true story. They used to fly over this part of the woods and drop packages off, and then one day, this bear got a hold of a package of cocaine. Obviously, they sensationalized it a bit. It's supposed to be really funny, also very gory. But I've heard very good things about the movie. They killed at I think the Oscars. They talked about it constantly. But yeah, I want to see it. But so yeah, back to the museum. Like I said, very small. Doesn't cost anything to get in. They do a wonderful job of giving you the history and the background and all the info. Super kind, super sweet people who are very proud to be part of the Mohegan tribe. Foxwoods Museum is much different, just as the Foxwoods Casino is much different, which is why I prefer Mohegan, because the Mohegan Casino really tried to keep, even though it's a casino, they really tried to keep it historic to their roots. So it's decorated in normal, like, Mohegan Native American style decorations. The rugs even have patterns on them um, that are like Native American patterns. There's beading everywhere. They have artifacts in there. It's just more of a nod to the tribe and their history and where they come from. There's that big mountain in the middle. It's like it's got a observatory at the top where it's a bar, but there's an observatory where you look up and there's the ceiling is like the sky, all the stars and constellations, and the outside's made of like, I don't know, some kind of rock, slate or stained glass. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's really neat. Then there's the giant waterfall in the center of the casino. Foxwoods is more like a mall. It's just a mall. There's nothing native about it except for the colors. And their museum is giant and fancy, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it was made strictly to be a moneymaker. They do have this giant area you walk through, and it's a full scale village, literally full scale, like huts and teepees and all this stuff and statues, all life size, which is really neat. They have like one of those like kind of 3D ride things that takes you through the eras of the Mashantucket people. So they're just very different. I prefer the stuff that's more rooted in historical fact. Wait, please, don't do that. Please, stop that. Wait, thank you. Wait, hey, excuse me. Behave, man. Mav, behave, Bubba. Please. Oh, that's awesome, Carson. That's awesome. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. Really cool to listen to them talk about overlapping folklore. The Makiawisug, little people, sound an awful lot like the Pukwudgies of the Wampanoag tribe, which we will be going to the Pukwudgie. We will be going to the Pukwudgie capital of the world on the 28th with Alex Petikoff and Brian and Chewy. In the Freetown State Forest. But, affect weather patterns, and the Pukwudgies are a little bit more menacing. Although the Makiawisug, if you didn't give them the respect that they wanted and deserved in their traditions, then they would do things to you also. But the Pukwudgies are a little bit more devious, and not people as much as they are creatures, mythical creatures. Yeah, Fox's Straight Casino where the true gamblers go. Mohegan is fun. I like it better. I think it's got. I think it's just nicer. Period. It's kept cleaner. Um, it's like I said, it's more traditional to the beliefs and history of the tribe, which I think is just so awesome that they didn't just take this take the ability to make a casino and then just say, hey, we're just going to make this big gaudy whatever. No, they kept it real. And they do so many things still, powwows and my grandfather used to be friends with Chief Sturgis, who I showed a picture of yesterday. Was such a sweet guy. Yeah, I still want to go to the Mashantucket Museum and see if I could talk to somebody there about some of their folklore too. Curious to see what they have to say, what overlaps between them and the Mohegans, the Wampanoag, and the other tribes that are local to the area. Elementals. Yes, elementals. The Makiawisug are I guess they're very similar to an elemental. They didn't call them that, but they are very similar. They can control weather. If you look them in the eye, they will root you to the ground so that you cannot move. But it's a really cool story. If you have any time, Google it, look it up. Pretty neat stuff. And then they have Moshup the Giant, which was a little less like a Sasquatch, more like a giant. Martha's Vineyard has these cliffs there. I don't know if anyone's ever been there. It's beautiful there, by the way. They have these cliffs, and the cliffs are red. And the tale is that Moshup the Giant, after he banished, I forget what the peoples who I forget why he banished them, what they said. Certain peoples banished them to the sea and turned them into porpoises so they could live there because they betrayed him somehow. They said that he would pick up whales by the tail and swing them and smash them against the rock ledges and cliffs, and that's why they're red to this day. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, it's a shame. Fort Shantok is just a park now. There's not a whole lot of woods. Otherwise, trust me, I'd be all up in that every day that I could go, trying to do some investigating. But there's just not a lot there anymore. Lots of picnic areas. It's a nice park, but I wish it was just more woods. But anyway, very cool. I really enjoyed it. Good morning. Yeah, it's terrible. It's like being on an airplane, man, when people used to be able to smoke in it. It's awful. I walk out of there every time feeling like I just got an instant sinus infection. Yep. It's terrible. But that's, unfortunately, part of a casino. And there's smoking and non-smoking, but the smoke don't care what you do or what you say. It says smoking in this section. It ain't going to say, all right, we won't cross that line. Not how it works. But yeah. Good morning, Confessions. Good morning, man. So last night I got a message. I wanted to share this with you because it's just so strange, man. There's no coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences anymore whatsoever. Too many things. There's a crane flying over. It's probably way too far away for you to see. But anyway, too many things happen in such perfect ways over the last 6 months, especially this channel and all these other things, that I don't believe in coincidences. Last night, I got a message on Facebook Messenger from somebody. I woke up in the middle of the night like I always do, and I had a message, and I checked it. And it was from Miss Bettina Moss. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bettina, but she'd been on Kerry's show, I think 2 times. Bettina was scheduled to go on his show the day after my episode. Then Kerry, or maybe it was Monday. It was Monday because I was on either Friday or Saturday. I'm supposed to come back on Sunday, and Kerry ended up having trouble at work and couldn't do the show. And then was saying, I'm going to have you on Monday, but then he said, I can't because I'm having Bettina on. I think that's how it worked. But either way, she was supposed to be on right after me. And obviously, we know what happened, unfortunately. Sadly, Kerry passed away tragically. But anyway, so I get a message from Miss Bettina Moss in the middle of the night. Come here, get over here. What are you doing? And she is asking me, she said, I see you have a podcast, and asked me if I have an encounter experience with cryptids. And, I was on the show with Kerry, and I wrote her back and said, yeah, he stop it. He was actually the person who encouraged me to start the podcast, and with his help I did. And I always feel the need to tell people that, because he was just so kind to me and so selfless and such an inspiring, wonderful man. And she wrote back, she totally agreed, and she said, I felt this kinship with you, and we never met, we've never talked. And she said, I don't know why, but I got this feeling that I needed to reach out to you. What's really crazy is just yesterday, I was sitting down and I was working on my sneaker stuff, and for whatever reason, her name popped into my head, and I said, all right, I'm going to message her and talk to her and see if she'd like to come on the show. I knew about Bettina. I didn't know a lot. It's so hard to know everything about everybody in this community, but I knew a little bit. And I said, I'd love to have her on the show. How weird that she but it's just so strange how she contacts me last night when I was literally going to message her this morning. We're going to talk today. We're going to do each other's shows. It's going to be great. She's awesome. You guys have never seen her before. Check out her stuff on Bigfoot Odyssey. She was great. Kerry wouldn't have had her back twice, and planned to have her back a third time if he didn't think very highly of her. And obviously, if Kerry thinks highly of some, that's a giant compliment. So yeah, so that's going to happen. James Brost from Outcast Paranormal, so produced, it's on Amazon Prime. It's $1.99 to rent, $2.99 to buy. It's so worth it. It was a great film. Barry West brother from Barry had done an Odyssey, the res with Kerry first got started. He was in the beginning. And Barry also has agreed to come on the show. But James is coming on the show next Tuesday. Man, it's crazy too. I think like how the universe guides you to the right people. And I always end up saying this so often, that I'm guided to just good people in this community. Good people, because there's not all good people. But again, another wonderful person. James is just such a nice guy. He was so open and so kind and didn't even hesitate. I sent him a message. His there. And so, man, how easy was that? Um, I, 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 I plead with you to watch that episode. We're going to talk about the documentary. We're going to talk about some of the things that happened when he was there, which they were really, really intriguing things. Really intriguing. And I'm going to get James's thoughts and opinions and feelings on, what he may have learned while he was there, and how the Native American beliefs and teachings may have affected what happened to them there. It's going to be a great episode. Dan Nadrello will be on next Thursday. He is a biologist, so he works with, nature and real animals for a very long time. So he has a background in being able to, talk about real nature and animals as opposed to cryptid stuff. But that also helps him be able to differentiate between what may be a real animal in the woods and what might be a cryptid. He works with Shane Carpenter of Ozark Mountain Sasquatch for the last couple of years, and they've gotten some great evidence. So that'll be a good show. And then next Tuesday, Chris Spencer from the Olympic Project will be on. He's their audio expert, and he's going to bring some awesome audio clips with him from the stuff that they've captured out in the Olympic Mountains over the years. It's going to be so cool. I'm super excited. And then I am going to go on Country Boy Cryptid Show sometime soon. We're going to do an episode about Dudleytown, probably the first week of April. I got to do Mike's show over at Red Creek Mafia. Michael Buehler, I believe is how it's pronounced. Mike, I'm sorry, I apologize. Buehler. Points if you know what movie that's from, and if you don't, we're no longer friends. And then obviously Bettina, and then me and Chris over at Country Boy Cryptids are thinking about doing a once a week show that has nothing to do with cryptids, but in case anybody out there is a fan of classic old school wrestling, me and him love it. We grew up on it. It's very near and dear to my heart because I used to watch it with my grandmother and my grandfather all the time, and they loved it. And so it has a very special place for me. Nostalgia. I'll watch old school wrestling when I'm feeling down, and it makes me feel like I'm connected to my grandmother again. Like I'm sitting on the living room floor watching Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, whoever. So we're thinking about doing an episode once a week, maybe once every couple weeks, about old school. Wrestling, just to have. I know many people do not, probably don't care about wrestling here, but it's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be fun. Did ORD reach out? No. Thank you, Carson. It's very kind of you. Yes, the Ultimate Warrior, one of my favorites. Couldn't wrestle a lick, but great. One of the greatest characters in the history of wrestling. Possibly might be the greatest just character. Well, I would say it's probably the Undertaker, but definitely up there. Too bad if he didn't have such a giant ego and could wrestle a little more. He would have been one of the greatest ever. Period. But still enjoyed him as a kid. How could you not? Neon face paint, tassels, giant muscles. It's like a real life superhero. That music. And he comes screaming to the ring. I don't know how he did it. If that was me and I ran to the ring like that, by the time I got there, I'd be done. I'd be sweating and out of breath, and that was it. There's no more for me. But that guy would do it. Come here. Get out of the road. Come on. Come here. Get out of the road. Come on. Get up here. Get up here. Come on. Get here. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to take this little fella home. And I'm going to get back to work. Yay. Super. Awesome. Yay. Gosh, I just wish the economy would pick up. Oh my God, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is one of my absolute favorites. I don't know that there was any more athletic, naturally gifted wrestler to ever. Ric Flair, who's probably the greatest world champion to ever live, said that Ricky was his greatest opponent ever. That is high praise. But yeah, loved Ricky. He was great. Handsome guy. So crazily built. Yeah, awesome. You guys should watch if you have any interest in it at all. You should watch, because I am a wrestling encyclopedia. I really am. Not to toot my own horn, but I probably know more about wrestling than I know about cryptids. So it'll be fun. All right, I'm getting inside. Get this guy back in. I'm gonna get on the computer. Yay! Yay. What do I do for work? I sell sneakers. Nikes, SBs, Jordans, Air Max, Yeezys, New Balance. Popular stuff that's usually hard to get. That's what I do. But the economy's bad. People aren't spending money like they used to. Things have been slow. Things have been very slow. Spit that out. Yeah, I've that too. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thing to go this weekend. I got a couple places in mind, new places, different places. So I got to make a decision on that. Maybe I'll do a poll, see what you guys think. If anyone's got any gut feelings on the names of the places, yeah, that's what I'll do. All right. So look for the poll later on the community page. Have a great day, guys. Love you all. Love and light. I'll check you later. I'm out.